Hey everybody, welcome to Thrill Seeking Teachers. I'm Dave,
I'm Will.
and we are two teachers that love roller coasters.
Love them.
And we are here, Thrill Seeking Teachers, giving you another list. We have another list. Last time we talked about King's Dominion in
Great park.
Doswell, Virginia. Great park, we love it. That's one of our home parks. And we had a good time talking about our top coasters, counting down from least to greatest at the park. And hopefully you may agree with some of these next ones that we're going to do, which is at our other, I guess, home park, Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. An awesome, awesome park. I'm going to be putting footage of Hershey Park, kind of aerial stuff right now, a little B-roll of Hershey Park, but it's a beautiful, beautiful park.
Beautiful park.
And we will talk about in other videos, we will talk about some of the great things that they have in terms of food and attractions and all of that good stuff. We've been to Hershey Park
dozens of times.
Yeah, just a lot of times
And
when I was little.
And I was telling Dave, we take for granted how elite Hershey Park is because we've been so much. It's a bucket list park for most enthusiasts across the country. But any publication of note will always list Hershey as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Nothing below that. So it's a truly elite park with a great collection.
It's a great park. So
we're gonna do our take. You want to start it off?
Yes, we're gonna start off.
So let's
okay,
before we start off, can we talk about the variety of their coaster collection? So they have 14.
Yeah, they have 14.
They have 2 Woodies, a classic Schwarzkopf.
We didn't say that in the other video. You want to say that?
Why not? Yeah.
Oh, gotta go.
So they have 2 Woodies, a classic Schwarzkopf, 2 hypercoasters.
You can tell he really loves
an inverted coaster, and an RMC. So that's a great deal of variety.
Okay, so we have 14 coasters that we have counted, and we're counting down from least, the one that we least like, to the one that we most like. And of course, we didn't see each other's list, so this is going to be kind of the surprise counting down to number 1. So let's go ahead and start with number 14. Drum roll. So number 14, I have Trailblazer as my number 14. It's a kiddie coaster. It looks nice.
It's not a kiddie coaster.
Is it a kiddie coaster? What is it?
It's a family.
It's
it's an Aero mine train.
I'm gonna cut that part. All right, it's a mine train. Made by what? Made by who?
Aero.
And so it is a family coaster. It's good. It's got its moments. It's great for the little kids or the little thrill seekers in them. I did ride it once. But the one time I did ride it, it was pretty fun. Rode the front car. It's a nice coaster, but that's my number 14. What's yours?
My number 14 is Coco Cruiser by Semperla. It's the actual kiddie coaster in the park that was designed with children in mind. As a matter of fact, I don't even think they let you ride it unless you get on with an adult. So I
will try.
I don't think we can ride it, but it's by Semperla. It goes through the layout twice. I've never been on it. I wasn't a kid. I wasn't a kid when they opened it. I was a grown adult when they opened it.
When did they open it?
2009 or 2010, something
like that. Yeah,
definitely.
We were probably.
It's relatively recent. You've seen one kiddie coaster by Semperla. You've seen most of them.
Okay.
So that's my lowest ranked one, just because I've never been on it. I probably can't fit on it.
Well, moving on to number 13. Number 13 for me is Super Duper Looper. I am not a big fan of this ride. I'm one of those people that is not a huge fan of really, really old coasters. I'm kind of at that place in my life where I want to see the next new thing. But I mean, I know how people appreciate the oldies. but goodies. But it's a good coaster. I would say it's a nice coaster even for not little kids, but
Families.
yeah, families. So it's a nice little family coaster. So that's my number 13. What's yours?
My number 13 is Wild Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
And it is by Mock Rides. It's a mock Wild Mouse. It's one of the mock Wild Mice that I do not like.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fan of this Wild Mouse at all. Um, I don't like it. The jerkiness is too jerky. It's too aggressive.
I'm not a fan of wild mouses
Um,
either. Mices. Do I say
Wild
mices?
mice,
Wild mice?
mice,
Mice?
mice. Um, I like wild mice. I just don't like this one. This one is a little.
Too aggressive.
No, it feels borderline dangerous. Um, so
You have no nerve talk about dangerous. You ride dangerous rides
I
all the
ride
time.
dangerous rides all the time. But I don't like this ride. This is the only ride in the park that I will say Hershey Park has one bad ride.
Oh, okay. That's one bad ride. All
That's
right.
one bad ride.
One bad ride. Okay. Moving on to number 12. My number 12 is Coco Cruiser. I do like the theming of
I
this
still
ride.
don't know how he has a kiddie coaster that none of us can fit at number 12. That
When I
that
saw
just
it, look,
goes in a circle.
look, when I saw it, I thought I would
goes in
be.
it
You
goes
know
in a
what? I
circle
thought
twice.
it would be nice, and you know what? I'm gonna go and ask, and they probably will let me. Just because I'm a coaster enthusiast, and they know I have
The
a
layout
channel.
is half the size of Trailblazer.
And Trailblazer was not really fun at all. It was just kind of it was like a scenic route.
Well, it's a
like-
mine train. It's supposed
It's
to
a
be.
scenic route.
It's
It
a
was
mine
not.
train. It's
There was no
supposed to be.
excitement in that one, especially if you are doing a family coaster and a mine train. You could still do mine trains, but still have some level of excitement. There was none. It was
Well,
no.
keep in mind, these old aero coasters at their time were not family coasters. They were considered relatively aggressive. And
That was aggressive.
back in the time, they were. I mean, when they opened in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Again, times have changed, man. Times have changed. So that was my number. Wait, that was my number 12. What's your number 12?
My number 12 is actually Trailblazer by
Okay.
Aerodynamics.
Okay, so switch it
the
up.
smoothest aero mine train that I've
Most
ever been on.
boring.
It has a couple of fun moments. It's super smooth. It can get fast.
Nope.
And it has that one helix that was enjoyable.
That was not even enjoyable. You said that when you actually wrote it,
I
you
liked
just
it.
sat.
I like it. I still don't know how he lists Coco Cruiser.
I thought it was pretty. It looked
Trailblazer.
fun. It looked fun to me.
It goes in a circle twice.
But it looked fun. I don't care. I'm just like, I'm gonna ride it next time. I'm gonna ride it. All right. So we're down to number 11. We're at number 11. For me, it was the Wild Mouse. I'm not a huge fan of wild mice, but I think I did ride it one time, and again, extremely aggressive. Throws you all over the place.
Yeah.
It is just not. I think even the one in King's Dominion looked a little smoother.
It's
but,
newer.
Yeah, but
newer.
this one just it threw you all over the place. You thought you was gonna. It was gonna take you right off.
Don't you think with this Wild Mouse, I feel like this Wild Mouse at Hershey has not had a paint job since it opened.
Yeah, it's in dire need.
I feel like if it had a fresh paint job, it would just change the overall outlook of the attraction.
Yeah, it needed some help.
Because it's had that shabby blue
Forever.
for as long as I can remember.
Forever.
Yeah.
Well, what's your number 11?
My number 11 is Comet by Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters. We rode it for the first time this year. Comet's line arguably is the longest in the park. Easily.
Which is crazy.
On any given day, it could be 45 minutes to 2 hours long.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. And
I don't know why.
I can say this. I think it is a good family ride. There were some pops of floater airtime. I liked it. It was not bad at all. Is it worth the 45-minute to 2-hour wait? Absolutely not. But if
For
it's a
kids.
yeah, if it's a walk, if I see, I'll say this, I'll write it again. If I see that there's no line,
Yeah.
even because even the line for the what's it called, the fast pass at Hershey Park?
Yeah.
What is that?
The
Even,
fast pass.
yeah,
Fast
even the
lane.
line for the fast lane at Hershey Park
Yeah.
still had a wait. That's how long that line
Well, I
was.
think also because they were running one train.
This particular day, yeah.
Yeah, they were running one train operation. So operations, again, can elongate wait times as well. So
Definitely.
that is something. But yeah, I mean,
I'll write it again. I liked it. It had a couple of pops of air floater. It wasn't jerky. It wasn't rough. They
it was a little, it was jerky.
I
It was-
mean, but like we've
It's the old
discussed
Woody.
before. With the old Woody, you expect some grit. So
yeah.
I liked it. If I go again, which we always do. I will definitely ride it again if there is no line.
Yeah. All right. So down to our top 10. All right. Number 10 for me is Comet. I did. I mean, it's a pretty good ride when operations are not horrible.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good ride. It's not like I'm not gonna want to ride it over and over. It's not like a great ride, but it's not bad. So my comment's a little bit higher than his. So I just rated that a 10 for me. So I was like, okay, that was me.
Would you ride it again if there's no line like I would?
Yeah, I would just to do it. It's not really gonna be that bad. Yeah. So what's your number 10?
My number 10 is Super Duper Looper by Schwarzkopf, which I enjoy tremendously every time I get on it. To me, that's more of a mine or terrain train than Trailblazer. It's by Schwarzkopf. It's Schwarzkopf and Arrow are of the same era. I feel like the Schwarzkopf coasters that are still out are way smoother and more enjoyable than the Arrow coasters of the same time period.
See, he's a historian. I just like
the first loop is forceful, and then the rest of the layout has fast moments and enjoyable moments. I like Super Duper Looper a lot. I won't wait a long wait for it, but if I'm with someone that doesn't ride big roller coasters, I'll get on Super Duper Looper with them. I didn't ride it this recent visit.
I didn't either.
Actually, I think it was down this recent visit.
I don't know what it is, but I just don't like it.
I like classics. Some of the classics, especially the smoother ones, and this Schwarzkopf is a very smooth classic.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna agree to disagree on that one. So that was number 10.
When was the last time you got on it?
I got it like maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fun. It wasn't that fun. But I mean, differences of opinion. All right, so let's do number 9. We're at number 9 now. So my number 9 is Jolly Rancher Remix. I actually never actually rode the ride. It looks like it'll be fun at times. I don't know who is it by again. What is it?
Vekoma.
Vekoma. It's a Vekoma Boomerang.
A Vekoma Boomerang.
Vekoma Boomerang.
I feel like it's a Vekoma Boomerang in every single amusement park in America.
Yes, they really love those.
Yeah.
I guess it's very easy to maintain. And
They're cheap. They're crowd pleasers.
It depends on what it is, because even this one, it just feels it doesn't have that much of a thrill. It's just I would say the Invertigo in Kings Island, that was a thrill boomerang.
Well, because it's below the track.
Well, yeah, but then still, it had more of a layout in its boomerang. This one, it just has a boom, turn.
Well, it has the traditional boomerang layout.
Yeah, very traditional. I've never actually rode it, but just a quick question. I know you did. Did they? Does it really smell like Jolly Ranchers?
So they've, I think they've reinvented it for 2023. The same year with no, Was it 2022 or 2023? It was either 22 or 23 with either before or after Wildcats Revenge. But they gave a new paint job, new trains, new vest restraints instead of the old. And
Yeah.
so it's like a completely new experience.
But did they put this like
There's
I
Jolly
heard
Rancher scent.
oh okay so they do
There's
put out a scent.
music. There's theming in the
Okay.
station. So it's I enjoy it. I
Okay.
actually have Jolly Rancher remix
Oh, don't say
ranked
it.
a
Wait,
little
don't
higher.
yeah, don't say what it is. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my number 9. What is your number 9?
My number 9 is Laugh Track,
Laugh track.
a Mauer spinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second Mauer spinner I've ever been on. The first Mauer spinner I've been on is an outdoor Mauer coaster, but I like this one because it's indoors. It's probably their most themed ride at the park. Um, every time I get on it, the spinning is moderate,
Mm.
but then
I never get on
I
it.
hear other people get on it and they say what made them sick. It spun so much.
Mm.
I've
It
never
depends on
expended.
where. Yeah.
Yeah,
Depends
I've
on which one you get on.
yeah, I've never experienced that much spinning. I mean, it'll get you dizzy, but I like Laugh Track a lot.
Mm.
It is also one of the longest lines in the park consistently because of the nature of the ride.
Because it's indoor.
No, because each car only fits 4 people.
Oh,
Two in
wow.
the front and 2 in the back. And so
That sucks.
they stop it to load, then it moves. Stop, load, move.
Oh,
Stop,
yeah.
load, move.
So operations are horrible
You
with
need
that.
to get on. You need to get on it. I like it a lot.
It's yeah. I saw the
it's
layout.
Butter smooth. Depending on the day, depending on what color car, I don't know. Mine, every time I ride it, it never spins a lot, and then the people behind me, they're like, "I'm sick," so I don't know.
It depends on which car you get in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's my
That's
number
it.
9. Laugh
Okay,
Track.
well for
Butter
me,
smooth.
my number 8 is the laugh track. So mine's is a little bit higher than his. It looks interesting when I look at the layout. I've never actually rode.
Next time we go,
I
you should
never
ride
rode
it.
it. I just never was that interested, in it. It never really interested me, but I'll just get it for the ride credit now. So that was my number 8. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is Jolly Rancher Remix.
Okay.
Vekoma Boomerang.
So we just switched ours.
Yeah.
I just switched.
I like it. The last time I was there, not with you, but with my sister, we got on it all together. She enjoyed it tremendously. I enjoyed it. It's now probably the most smooth Vekoma Boomerang out there, the most comfortable Vekoma Boomerang out there.
Well, we
Probably
like every park has a
Yeah.
phone number, so we don't know.
It's like they knocked the theming out of the park. The line is always long because of the nature of the ride. It can only run
One train.
at any given time. So I like Jolly Rancher Remix a lot.
Okay. All right. Wait. Pause. Let me make sure. And see. Okay, so now we are on number 7. Number 7, going through it. So for me, number 7 is Great Bear. Who is that by again?
B&M.
B&M.
A B&M
Invert. Oh man, it's not the best B&M. Invert, is that Invert? Invert, right? Okay. It's not the best Invert that I've been on, but I mean it'll do. It's got some moments. I rode it the last 2 times I was here, or not here, at Hershey. But it was good. It was not like, oh my god, I'm gonna ride it again. I just did it because it was there. But it's a moderately good B&M. So that was my number 7. What's yours?
My number 7 is their dueling coaster, Lightning Racer by Great Coasters International.
Okay.
I really enjoy a dueling coaster that actually duels every time. I like the layout. I like the forces.
You
I
like old coasters.
Well, it's not that old. GCI is relative. That GCI is relatively recent.
How recent?
19 late 1990s, I believe, early 2000s.
That's still 20 something.
It's, it's not super old.
Yeah.
It's not old enough to be a classic, but it's getting there. But
Okay.
it's one of the earlier GCIs.
Okay.
The layout's pretty solid. It duels every time. It has some nice forces. Hershey Park does a good job at keeping it smooth and running consistently. The operations are good. So I think it's a solid GCI. I think it was better than their previous GCI, Wildcat.
Oh.
The Wildcat.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. So that was the number 7. So my number 6 actually is Lightning Racer. So number 6 is Lightning Racer. It is a dueling coaster. It is kind of fun to kind of see who wins, kind of thing, because they actually do make it race. So I do like that theming of it. Do I like the old coaster? No, but it's kind of fun if you have a group of friends, kind of thing. Some of y'all get on one, some of y'all get on the other, and really see who like comes in first. It's kind of a nice, fun family little thing going. So that was my number 6. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is Great Bear.
So we keep switching. We keep switching.
B&M invert. One of the more unique B&M inverts because of the drop.
Is that the
when
drop
you come
that
up
does,
the lift hill, it has a helix and then it goes down.
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't think there's any other B&M invert out there like that. I could be wrong. Maybe Nemesis Reborn. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe, but I have to look at that layout. But it's a very unique layout considering where they placed the ride. Between the lake and another attraction.
Yeah.
Storm Runner and Super Duper Looper. They all I'm sorry, not Storm Runner.
Yeah, Sky Rush.
Sky Rush. So they all kind of.
You can just get your.
So,
you can just go to each one.
I like Great Bear. I've never had a bad ride on it. It's enjoyable. I don't really. I've never been on a B&M invert that I hated. The only thing, at least to me, that affects that ride, it has the worst operations in that park. There is no reason for a B&M invert to take 5 minutes to dispatch Hershey Park.
Oh, okay. We can let's.
Sorry.
That's on another video where we'll talk about Hershey
5
Park.
minutes.
No. That's another video. We're just going through our top coasters.
Why does it take a B&M invert
No, we're not gonna do
5
that.
minutes
We're
to
not gonna do
dispatch?
this one. We're gonna wait until another one to talk about some.
But you know that's
complaints.
crazy.
Yes, there is some issues with
5
parks.
minutes.
Yeah, so that is what it is. So that Great Bear for you is number 6, and let's go to our top 5. Top 5, number 5. My number 5 is Sky Rush.
What?
Yes.
What?
My
How
number
dare
5,
you.
first of all.
Sky Rush.
My number 5 is Sky Rush. First off, I do love the new track. I do love the new theming. I do love the new paint job.
The restraints, the seats.
I like. I'm not really too much of a fan of the restraints.
It's better than the previous one.
Well,
it's not that crush anymore.
Yeah, but then also I think this is a ride where it is completely insane. It's not a ride that I would like to do over and over and over again. And remember, when I do my rankings, my ranking for me and my thinking is, do I want to do this ride over and over and over and over and over again? And this is one of those ones where I could ride it and I'll be done. I'll be like, okay, I'm done with that ride.
He literally rides it one time. I think I went recently with my godson and my sister. He made me get on that thing 5-6 times in a row. Way too much. I had the worst headache I think I have ever had.
That is way too much.
It's way too much for Sky Rush.
Sky Rush is
one of the most intense.
Intamin. It's an Intamin.
One of the most intense Intamins out there.
It's very intense. It's dark. It has accelerated lift hill. It darts you up, throws you over. You don't have no time to think, breathe.
That first drop is probably one of the best first drops out there.
You have no time to think. Like, you will sing a verse of a song and you're done. Like you're over the hill. It's just go bow. Like it's exhilarating to look at, but when you're there, it's like,
so
oh my God.
For you, it's one and done.
Yeah, it's like a one and done for me. I don't have to ride it again if I, feel froggy.
But every time we go to the park, we always ride it.
We always ride it. I always end up doing it.
You have to get on Skyrush.
Skyrush is definitely a have to do. It is a great, it's a good ride now. So that's my number 5. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is the super unique Fahrenheit. The Intamin vertical lift coaster. There's only literally 2 in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This Intamin vertical lift was made custom for Hershey Park. It is the only one in the United States of America. It's the only one in North America. It's the only one in the West. The other one is in China. It's Intamin's version, I think, of a Gerstlauer Eurofighter.
Okay.
It's super unique. It's fun. It can be forceful, certain aspects, especially the Cobra roll. It has airtime. My only problem with that ride is the restraints.
It's very tight.
It's very tight, but I have a belly too, so.
No, but I think they have to make it tight because of that very
the vertical lift.
Yeah, that vertical lift.
And it's a beyond 90-degree drop.
First of all, that vertical lift.
It's an incredible drop.
Oh, but that vertical lift is like everything just shifts.
And then when you come over the hill, you're ejected.
Yeah.
It's ejector. That drop is ejector.
Yes. So it's definitely that's your number 5? Oh, wow.
It's in my top 5. It's in my top 5 mostly because it's one of a kind.
I thought
almost one of a kind.
Yeah, well, for me, going to number 4, that is my number 4. I think it should be ranked higher. I think that is a hugely unique ride.
Actually, I actually toiled over Fahrenheit being number 5 or number 4.
I definitely thought it was number 4. I thought it was definitely a number 4. That vertical lift is extremely unique. I've never had. Well, it's not that I've never, but that vertical lift is something really
We've been on
awesome.
A Gerstlauer that has a vertical lift.
Yeah, but this one is just something different when you going down and all of that. It's just really, really nice, and I thought it was definitely deserved for my number 4 spot. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is new for 2020, the B&M Hyper Candemonium.
Oh, yes.
I love a B&M Hyper. I don't think they make a bad one.
They don't.
They're floater airtime machines.
I
always enjoy Candemonium. Every time we go
in the back.
The back is a must. The back row on that ride is almost as good as Diamondback. Almost.
That back.
I love better than Nitro, better than Apollo's Chariot, but I love Candemonium.
Candemonium is just a fun ride. It's you can do it day or night. Night rides are especially awesome. It's okay. I'm sorry. I don't even want to get ahead of myself. But Candemonium, it's a very unique to the park. It's right in the front. As soon as you come to the park,
it gives you that excellent curb appeal.
Yeah.
More parks are getting coasters at their front gates. I love it.
I love that. It gives you that anticipation of all of that, and I love that. So that was your what are we doing?
That was my number 4.
Okay, now we're at our top 3. So my first top 3 has to be Storm Runner by Intamin. Yes. By Intamin, Storm Runner. I think I know when I see a Intamin now. It's those narrow tracks.
Very narrow tracks with not a lot of space between the track coupling.
Yes. Okay. See, now I can see it. So Storm Runner. I think the only reason why it's not higher for me, I think it's a really elite ride. I think it should have been longer. I would love for them to do some more with that ride.
Well, that hydraulic launch coaster is in the same era when all of the hydraulic launches were coming out within the same 5-6 year period. So you got Top Thrill Dragster, King the Ka, Accelerator at Knots, and then Storm Runner. They all came out around the same time. That one actually has the longest layout out of all of them.
Who?
Out of all of those
Storm Runner?
Storm Runner has
Really?
the longest layout.
I
It has a full, complete layout.
Yeah, I really do love that ride though. The launch is really really nice, and I love the fact that it's covered by trees, so you
Yeah.
really can't see what you're doing until you're really on there, and then you actually like, oh my god, it goes
Yeah.
all over the place. So it is a big layout. I wish it was longer. I wish
Yeah.
they would made that longer because it's an elite ride. I think
Super elite.
I'm in love with Storm Runner. I could ride that one more than once.
Yes.
And
It's
yeah,
more than just a top hat.
it's more than just a topic. So don't think just because you go on the accelerator, that's it. It's more than that. It's a lot more. So that was my number 3. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is the relentless, powerful, and painful Skyrush.
Skyrush.
An Intamin winged hypercoaster. I think it's relatively unique. It has another version of itself in the Middle East. It's a super elite roller coaster. You'll see a lot of enthusiasts talking about Intamin RMC 1-2 punches. Many say this 1-2 punch of Skyrush and Wildcat's Revenge probably one of the best on earth.
Right.
Easily in the top 3.
Yeah.
I think Skyrush is super elite.
Yeah.
I like the theming that they did. I like
the new theme.
the seats. I like the new restraints. It made it all so much more palatable. It is just a little bit more rideable than it been in the past. I was able to get on it 5 times in a row with a headache.
Yeah.
The ejector airtime is insane,
Yes.
especially that first drop.
It's
It's
crazy.
consistently intense.
It's a crazy ride.
I'm a fanboy. I love it. It's not my number 1 though, but
Not number 1.
Skyrush is a super elite, world-class coaster.
Okay, so now we're down to our top 2. Number 2 for me is Candemonium. I could ride that ride over and over and over and
Love
over, and never get tired of it. Like I think for me, that's the barometer of my top coasters. Can I ride this over and over and never get tired of it? I could definitely, Candemonium's one of those I could really just ride, and that could be it for me. Just like that could be the part of my day where I just ride that for 5-6 times and I'll be great. So that's my number 2. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Storm Runner by Intamin. And I literally had to go up in the air with this one. I toiled. I thought about this one for maybe 10-15 minutes. Between Skyrush and Storm Runner, it literally took me 10 to 15 minutes to decide why I liked one over the other. And just Storm Runner, that punchy hydraulic launch.
Yeah.
I think probably it'll be one of the 3 or 4 left in the world after the Six Flags Corporation gets rid of all of theirs. And to implement swing launches and LIM launches. But these punchy hydraulic launches are going to be far and few between. And
soon.
Hershey Park,
Very soon.
Considering the nature of this attraction, Hershey Park keeps that thing operating.
Oh, they do. I love it.
I think it was
love it.
out for maybe half a year because they were completely reinventing the launch mechanism. But they keep that thing operating. So yeah, that's my number 2.
Number 2 now. Well,
can I introduce number 1?
Well, I mean, we have the same one now because now there's only one left.
I want to preface the number 1. So when
Before he gets into this, y'all, he did not even say what the actual ride was. It's called Wildcat's Revenge, and the manufacturer is RMC. And now back to Will's incessant talking.
3 to 5 they created.
Mm-hmm.
This attraction is one of the best RMCs in the world.
Yeah.
By far, at one point, I had it above Steel Vengeance. It is relentless from start to finish. I love every single piece of this ride. It is one of the most complete roller coasters that I have ever been on. I would say next to that, or rivaling that, is Steel Vengeance itself.
Stevie.
It is fast. It is furious. It's intense. The ejector is crazy.
Oh yeah, especially in the back.
And considering all of its intensity, it is still re-rideable.
Yes, so we got that one I could re-ride 5-6 times, and again, that is the measure of how good something is. I could just rewrite it and rewrite, which I did, and rewrite it and rewrite it, and it was just as fun as the first time.
I have a question for you. When you saw the POV layout initially, did you think it was going to be a weak or moderate RMC like everyone else did?
I thought that I thought it was like short. It seemed shorter than Stevie, so I didn't know. I knew it was done by RMC, and I knew it was going to be one of those hybrid coasters. So I knew RMC does crazy stuff.
Well, I don't think they have a bad coaster.
Yeah, I know they do.
People
crazy
say the
things.
Joker is, but I don't think they have a bad coaster.
Joker at
It's a six.
Magic Mountain.
No, it's which park is the Joker at? Can someone answer that in the comments?
Oh yeah, which the Joker?
It's an RMC, but like I've never personally experienced an RMC that was even close to being bad. They're all either good, great, or excellent.
Yeah, and this one is definitely absolutely elite. And
super elite.
It is an absolute gem, and is part of the great package that Hershey Park has. And I think that this is Wildcat's Revenge was like a crown jewel that Hershey Park needed, and it just drew everybody and their mama to this park. And so
I mean, they were already drawing crowds before that.
Yeah, but no, this one put it over the top. I think their crowds, and we could look at the numbers, their crowds just exponentially went higher with this. And it is a golden ticket winner.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
Yes, so it is an elite park. I mean, elite park.
Elite ride. It is an elite park. But
it's an elite ride. So definitely, that is our top 14 rides. And so let us know in the comments if you agree or if you think that there is some stuff that we missed.
Or list in the comments your own. Rank them yourself.
Rank them yourself. Which one do you think is number 1 or number 2 or number 3? And we will come back with another video. Maybe we should talk about like the parks operations.
Yeah,
like
I think
operations and parks.
Like I mentioned at the beginning, Hershey is listed in a lot of publications, either 2, 3, 4, or 5. It's always in the top 5 of the national amusement parks in the country. Never number 1. And I asked him, I was like, why do you think it's never number 1?
Money.
Well,
money.
Maybe.
Money.
For me, it's operations. They're not always the best. Operations are.
Well, we'll talk about operations, because operations can make or break a park. A lot of coaster enthusiasts don't think about that as part of the entire package of the. Some do.
This one does.
But I'm one of those people that think operations is just as important as the ride itself.
Yes.
If you have a bad crew, it could really mess up the ride.
Yes.
If you have a slow crew,
like Great Bear's 5 to 7 minute dispatches.
So
that blows my mind.
Tell us in the comments, what operations would you like us to talk about, and we can do our research and we can come back and give you another video. But until then, thank you for listening to Thrill Seeking Teachers. We should come out with merch soon.
Merch.
Get some merch going. But we will see you soon. And thank you, guys. Bye. That was good.